So how do some entrepreneurs overcome obstacles, maintain intense focus, exemplify ironclad discipline and create companies out of thin air? Is it genius? Is it luck? Or is it some secret source of success? Welcome to yet another episode of your Best Kept Business Secret podcast. With me, your host, coach, published author and business geek, Mark Ford, quite possibly your best kept business secret. So how are you doing today? How's this working from home thing going for you? And how many beers or glasses of wine have you already drunk before you started listening to this? For me, it's only 10 a.m. in the morning and it's only 3 beers and a whiskey chaser. I'm joking. Seriously, I'm joking. It's just the chaser. No, I'm still joking. But for some business owners and entrepreneurs, working from home has not only been a real eye-opener, it's kind of a bit of a ball ache too, simply because the stuff you know you should be getting done is just not getting done. So how do some entrepreneurs overcome obstacles, maintain that intense focus, exemplify ironclad discipline and create companies out of thin air? Is it genius? Is it luck? Is there some secret source of success? Or are they an android sent from the future to show us mere mortals up and be on the lookout for a woman called Sarah Connor? And if you don't get the reference, you, my friend, are seriously watching the wrong movies. But much of the answer lies in motivation. How do we define that? Well, psychology today defines motivation as the desire to do things. An even more detailed definition explains that motivation is the process that initiates, guides and maintains goal-orientated behaviours. That's a bit dull. But when you see a rising entrepreneur star, what you're watching is an incredible amount of motivation or goal-orientated behaviour. Motivation is a bit like jet propulsion. It transforms individuals and passive participants into active leaders, maybe because they know what's in that secret sauce. So here, for your entrepreneurial culinary delight, are 7 of those ingredients of motivation that the most successful entrepreneurs know all about. Let's roll the sting and remind people they are not just listening to a middle-aged business coach ramble on. Let's do it! Number 1, they know what they are meant to do in life. Now, the motivation literature is vast and varied, and it gets complicated. I mean, really complicated. I mean, it's written by people with so many letters after their name, their envelopes look like the countdown conundrum. Yet, as diverse as motivational theories are, there's a single thing that unites them all. Motivation answers the why. You see, every human grapples with that enormous question of existence. Why am I here? What's my purpose? Now, although a definitive and data-backed answer to that existential question has hardly been forthcoming in the last few millennia, I mean, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy had a very good stab at it, but we can at least choose an answer for ourselves. And one answer, as esoteric as it may sound, is that the purpose of one's existence is a fundamental principle of life. You've got to know why you're living in order to truly live. Choose a destiny then, right? Define your purpose. Chart your own course. See, once you answer the why, you'd have unlocked the first door on that path to constant motivation. It just drives you on if you truly understand it and you believe it. Number 2, they know what they're supposed to do each day. Now, motivation starts infinitely broad but gets infinitely small. Now, when you know what you're supposed to do in life, you can determine what you're supposed to do that day. You see, that defines the successful entrepreneurs. They enter each and every day with a defined set of tasks, goals, and objectives. Leo Babauta, who writes a blog called Zen Habits, calls these big rocks. Now, despite me avoiding the obvious nod to the size of successful entrepreneurs' testicles, it actually describes are the major things you want to get done this week. Now, if you have several big rocks staring you in the face each week, then your goal each day is to chip at them and just chip away at them. Knowing that they are there and knowing you must conquer them creates, well, a sense of motivation that won't quit all day long. There are just too many entendres and really not enough. Number 3, they prepare mentally for each day. You see, mere knowledge of the day's plans isn't quite enough. There must be another level of motivational power, a psychological kind of trick, as if it were. You see, the motivational Instagram account before 5 a.m, it's a great one, explains the mental preparation is key. Now, the author uses 4 hacks to boost their own motivation. 1, music is going to be the quickest way to snap your mind into a powerful state. 2, on your phone, you can create an album of the things that you want in life. 3, they look at their goals that are next to their bed every single day. And 4, there are plenty of great motivational material on YouTube. It's better than watching an amusing cat video. I mean, I'd start with a TEDx video, 20 minutes, and not only are you motivated, you've probably learned something too. Now, techniques vary, but the principle holds true. Mentality prepping before your day begins, and it's the key to dominating the rest of your day. Number 4, they refuse to rely on self-discipline alone. You see, there's an aura of respect and esteem that surrounds self-disciplined people. The truth is, however, that self-discipline, willpower, is kind of like a muscle. And like all muscles, willpower can get very tired through overuse. Now, self-discipline, moreover, is limited. Benjamin Franklin was famous for his pursuit of moral perfection. At the conclusion of his perfection experiment, he wrote this: "I never arrived at the perfection that I had been so ambitious of obtaining, but fell far short of it." How crap must he have felt at that point of writing that? See, self-discipline will kind of fail you, but a deep and underlying motivation will sustain you. You can use self-discipline to enhance your efforts, but just don't rely on it. Number 5, they are the authors of their own rule book. You see, self-motivated people have a courage to create their own rules for life. At the same time, all members of the human race are surrounded by other people, groups, subcultures, and kind of external forces. These groups will quite naturally exert an influence on your own self-perception, your goals, your vision, and your dreams. Yet someone who is able to rise above those external pressures and create his or her own guidebook for living will create enormous personal motivation. Another way of saying this is that self-motivated people set their own standards. And invariably, these standards are high. See, I'll wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I will not eat sugar, I will watch TV, I'll work every weekend, I'll eliminate toxic people out of my life, all those kinds of things. But high standards can be hard to maintain, yet they produce massive amounts of motivation, which in turn helps to fuel high achievement. Number 6, they develop insane goals. Another way that self-motivated entrepreneurs push forward is by using the power of goals. Goal setting does something to the mind. Life Hacks Dustin Wax explains it like this: according to the research of psychologists, neurologists, and other scientists, setting a goal invests ourselves into the target as if we'd already accomplished it. That is, by setting something as a goal, however small or large, however near or far in the future, a part of our brain believes that the desired outcome is an essential part of who we are, setting up the conditions that drive us to work towards the goals to fulfill the brain's self-image. Wow, that was a mouthful, and I'm so glad I'm reading this off a script. But the science of setting goals basically says that the simple act of creating the goal helps to drive the accomplishment. Meanwhile, some laugh at others' big goals, some scoff at people's goals, but other people set such goals and they achieve great things. One of today's most notable entrepreneurs is a great example of someone possessing insane goals. He is, of course, Elon Musk. Business Insider has said that Elon Musk sets nearly impossible goals for SpaceX employees, and that SpaceX has a seemingly impossible objective, the ultimate goal of enabling people to live on other planets. But you can't deny that such goals have thus far pushed Elon Musk and his SpaceX employees to actually achieve some remarkable things. Number 7, they never lose sight of the goal. In Star Wars, there was an annoying voice that was going off in Luke Skywalker's helmet saying, "Stay on target, stay on target." Now, merely setting a goal does not propel itself make you unbreakable stream of, will give you an unbreakable stream of motivated existence. You see, you have to keep those goals in mind all the time, every day, stuck on a mirror, dinging on your phone, taped to your computer, hanging on the wall, running through your mind, everywhere, always. So you have to keep your goals at the forefront of your mind, and you will never lose motivation. And oddly, opportunities will always appear. And so, in conclusion, self-motivation is one of the underlying forces that distinguishes successful entrepreneurs from those who stagger from one neglected startup to another. Self-motivation despises the role of luck, dismisses the component of self-discipline, and looks to the power of goals for ultimate achievement in life. So, questions to ask yourself today are, what are some of the things that you've discovered that motivate you? And if you're not cracking heads, do they really motivate you? Because if they did, would you really be listening to an idiot like me talking about motivation? Dig deep and really think what motivates you and gets you so turned on that you can't help but want to achieve it. And that is it for this episode of your Best Kept Business Secret podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please give us a rating, give us a like, give us a share. Please share it with as many people as you think deserve to listen to it. And that is it. That is quite simply it for this particular episode. You have been brilliant. I am rambling the end of this particular podcast. I will see you on the other side. I am Mark Ford, quite possibly your Best Kept Business Secret. See you soon.